give a damn about a sentence, justice, witness, protection plan. You got the evidence, but it's stacked against a free man. A free man. You could never walk away without a price to pay, but he can. Some rules of the Bible ain't against the law, but anyhow it don't cost anything at all to be a free man. You don't get money for emotional damage, apology for years of carrying the baggage, humiliation, separation, reparation package, reimbursed for promises he just took back. It's not a crime to sin, that's just the way it is. For a free man, a free man, you could never walk away without a price to pay, but he can. Some rules of the Bible ain't against the law, but anyhow it don't cost anything at all to be a free man. Say you pay a premium to talk to a stranger, crying on a couch, sorting out all that anger, expensive medication for occasional depression, asking all the while what the hell is the lesson. You don't get no sleep, and there's no PTSD. For a free man, a free man, you can never walk away without a price to pay, but he can. Some rules of the Bible ain't against the law, but anyhow it don't cost anything at all. Some rules of the Bible ain't against the law, but anyhow it don't cost anything at all to be a free man. Oh, a free man. Oh.
ValleyRadio.net, the best in Texas country, red dirt music, and the best of Nashville from 90s to now. Some Texas country there. Bri Bagwell, the new album's called Corazón y Cabeza. The lead track there called Free Man. Kind of a rockin' number from Bri. And on the phone right now, please welcome Bri Bagwell.
Hello.
Howdy.
Thank you for saying the album name correctly.
Oh, did I say it right? I'm you know me, I'm a Latino, but man, I may as well be a white boy, you know?
Well, most people are not bold enough to try, so I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that, yeah. So, man, I'm excited. Man, there is so much to unpack about you right now, Bri. You are, like, hitting on all cylinders, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of like a disaster, but I'm actually headed back home for the first time in a long time right now, so hopefully I'll have a few days to just, like, you know, find my shoes, do some laundry, and just sort it all out myself. The van's in the shop. All the things are happening.
Yeah, you got like a major reset, new album, just a whole lot going on. So you're going to need that kind of quiet before the storm, aren't you?
Yeah, and maybe some wine.
That too, of course. Well, we got Bri Bagwell on the phone. She's got a brand new record coming out. I believe August 26th is the release date. Again, Corazón y Cabeza. That's the lead track, Free Man. So let's go ahead and address this. Kind of an upbeat number. Now, I've never complained about your music, but the last few have been either kind of ballads or kind of mid-tempo, if I'm not mistaken. So, did you consciously go into this kind of with a more upbeat kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a while since we released something like that. You know, like my very first track ever was My Boots, and it kind of has that same feel. And then since then, it's kind of, we've done a beer song, and then we've done some ballads, like you said, and then so I think it was time. It's also summer, so I kind of like to do something really fun and up-tempo in the summer. And it just seemed kind of like the natural choice from the record.
Now, let's talk about Free Man since we just played it. I found it kind of interesting that this song, which kind of almost plays out like a courtroom drama, came out around the time that Johnny Depp, you know what I mean, and Amber Heard were like huge in the news. Is that just a coincidence, or was there any influence there on all this crazy attention that thing got?
Yeah, that's so funny. Because, we had definitely made this decision before I went down the rabbit hole of the TikTok adventure that was Johnny Depp's courtroom. And I was just in Disneyland, and I was like, had to do the selfie with him and be like, isn't happy hour anytime? But no, it was just because I had jury duty earlier this year, and so I wrote the song well before that came out, and it was already the song that was decided for the new single, but it is interesting timing.
Yeah, for sure. So the reception so far, Free Man's climbing up the charts. I know you recently released another track from the album, Josefina, which is so cool. Is that just kind of to streaming for now kind of thing, not to radio, right?
Right. I mean, it's so crazy because that's maybe not even a radio contender. There's just so many more tracks off of the album that I'm thinking for radio, and so it's a bummer because I really don't think I have any fillers on this album. Like, we really chose every song really carefully, and so I love all the songs. So trying to pick your babies to go to radio or whatever, it's a really complicated thing. So I think there's one called Sarah that'll probably come to radio, and there's one called Till I Can Let You Go that'll probably go to radio, and so those aren't even available yet. So plenty more to come because there's 11 new songs.
Well, that's a good problem to have, when they're all so good and so fun that you have a problem picking. I'm going to ask you a little bit more about Josefina a little bit later because we're going to play that one at the end of the interview, so y'all get ready for that. But again, the new album is coming out August 26th. Now, let's go ahead and address a few things because I was thinking about this earlier. I was trying to catch up on your bio to see if there's anything new I wanted to talk to you about before this interview, and I just realized that they cannot update your bio quick enough for all the awards you get. Is that that has to be a problem in the Bri Bagwell camp? It's is it 7, 8, 9? How many, Female Artist of the Year awards can you get, and how quickly does your PR guy have to, edit these things, and how much extra does that cost?
Well, it's very funny because, yes, I do have, a team, and they're, they asked me the other day, how many number ones? I'm like, I don't know, and I don't remember. So I can't even be helpful to them, and I think I told you this last time. It's I'm not sure if it's makes me feel really cool or really old. I mean,
seriously, all the Best Female Artist Awards and nominations for Entertainer of the Year, all the number ones. Again, like I said, there's really not a definitive source on the internet, and the internet knows all, that really has tracked all the exact numbers that Bri Bagwell has accomplished. So we should work on that and get that down for posterity's sake at the very, very least.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to work on that. I think too now the award, there was one award show, and now there's multiple award shows and multiple different. So I think it got kind of confusing in that sense too, which is actually a really a testament to the scene. It's growing so much, and it's so fun that there's multiple award shows now, but it's definitely more to keep track of.
Absolutely, juggling that hardware, juggling those awards. Don't even know who you're going to thank on stage, what chart it's going to be or whatnot. But again, we got Bri Bagwell on the phone. And speaking of all that, now you think there's ever going to be a point after 7, 8, or whatever the number is, Best Female Artist? You ever feel like you might be pressured into, or maybe just it might be on your conscience, to where you have to pull a Garth Brooks one day and just kind of remove yourself from the running?
It is. Yeah, I've thought about that. I mean, one year I was not nominated because you have to kind of also tell people to nominate you. Yeah. Which I don't do. And one year I was not nominated, and I got to present the award to Sarah Hoff.
Right, yeah.
Of course, the best. And so I don't really request nominations from people. I think it's just because there's still so few of us. I mean, it's getting so much better that people are just okay, I need a female artist. So hopefully we'll get to a point someday where there's just so many that I'm not the first one that comes to mind.
Well, now, in your defense...
20 that come to mind.
In your defense, no pun intended, in your defense, there are many Texas country and red dirt female artists out there. You're just the queen of the genre. That's just what it is. So just accept it. It's all good. And all of your female contemporaries love you to death. There's a lot of support among the female artists. Go ahead and, if you don't mind, give a shout out to some of your favorite ladies in the industry that are kind of coming up behind you.
Yeah. Well, of course, I love Sarah Hobbs and my buddy Kylie Fry that I just did the duet with. Actually, Caitlin Butts just got an Opry debut she just announced, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
I sent her a congrats text. That's just amazing. But I do. Jade Patek is my girl. I love her so much. She's putting out great music right now. Julia Hatfield, of course, is one of my favorites. But I have to tell you, there's a girl in New Braunfels that's become one of my, like, best gal pals. Her name is Juliana Rankin, and she is, like, she's an unbelievable songwriter, unbelievable singer, and so she's starting to venture out of New Braunfels, and she just played Schrader Hall with Jade Potek. She's really, really good, so I would put her on everyone's radar for sure.
All right, so everybody find those lovely ladies on Spotify, add them to your list, and request them here at UvaldeRadio.net. We'll get them on. Again, we got Bri Bagwell on the phone. She got a brand new record coming out August 26th. And you mentioned Kylie Frey. Again, y'all went #1 with your cover of Girls Just Want to Have Fun. What a great live moment that was at the recent T3R Awards, where you and all the ladies of Texas Country got together on stage. But, you know, getting back to the collaborations, you did that Tejano number recently as well too. Any other collabs, duets on the horizon for us?
Wow. Well, I did record a duet with Paul Leeson, and we were going to release that earlier this year, and it's just been kind of crazy, but it's done, and it's just like sitting. So I don't know what to do with it. Of course, I need to call Dave and see if he's going to be mad if we don't put it out to radio. So I don't know whether we're going to really, go out and put it out to radio as well, or if we're just going to, make it like a fall single on Spotify. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it yet, but it's a Conway Twitty Loretta Lynn duet, and it's just sitting in my email folder. So.
Wow. Somebody needs to send that over to me. Robert Miguel at UvaldeRadio.net. But, okay, you mentioned Paul. Paul Leeson is not only a fantastic musician, a member of the Wilder Blue, but also your boyfriend, right?
Yes, and we are trying to do a lot of things right now. We're both on the road all the time, but we're also, trying to go, take over the world, just, normal things.
So I've asked you this last time we spoke, but how is it going for you guys, man? The Wilder Blue is really, they're still, top 10 on the Texas charts, really making an impact in Texas country. So I think it's safe to say that Paul is a bigger deal than he was a year ago, right? And now you guys are definitely like the king and queen Texas country kind of power couple. How is the dynamic change as Paul's band gets more and more popular as well?
Oh, that's very nice. I think they had their first #1 on one of the charts last week, and then they're at Green Hall on Friday. So it's been really exciting to watch. I've been a fan of Zayn for so long, and Paul and all of his solo stuff. So just kind of to see the band succeed is they just should. It's just they're just so good. It's really, they have to succeed, or else I will no longer believe in music.
Now, let's be honest. I would think that some people, being that you've been such a, headlining name in the industry for a while, do you ever run into that whole, when people run into Paul, it's like, hey, Mr. Bri Bagwell. Is there any kind of running joke, or how does he handle that? I'm sure he handles it very graciously. But
wow, I hope that happens to him, because I don't know if it does as much as it happens to me. Everyone's like, where's Paul? Where's Blue Eyes? Everyone calls him. So I'm like, do you want to talk? Does anyone want to talk about me anymore? So I hope that happens to him. I'm not sure but it happens to me all the time. So,
well, we bring him up out of respect, because it's really neat to see you guys so alive, and it's fun because, as far as entertainment goes, you mentioned the duet. It's really neat to see people within a genre, within an industry. I think that's why we get enamored with, like we were talking about earlier, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, because I think that we all want to see people from the same worlds get together, stay together, and there's something, there's something to watch there. We don't really have a lot of that in the Texas country scene. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there's a few. I know at Steamboat they started doing a couples show, which was really cute. It's Jason and Courtney and Cleto and Caitlin and Tom Shepard and Coley. So there are a few, but I agree it's not as many as you would expect. So it is really fun. I really think I was like, nope. Musicians, I'm going to find a software engineer or something. I don't want to be involved with someone in the scene. But then it's really been the best thing, because we have the same exact schedule. We like to do the same things. We can take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just go somewhere where that would really not be able to happen if it was a relationship that wasn't two musicians.
Well, it's really fantastic watching you guys on social media and during these interviews. It's obvious that you guys are just, cut from the same cloth, definitely made for each other. So we pray for continued blessings in your relationship as it flourishes. And you guys seem to be making really great music since you guys have gotten together. Let's go ahead and talk about the new album, Corazón y Cabeza. Again, coming out August 26th. Let's go ahead and talk about the tracks. How many are rights, co-writes? Where did you get the songs, first of all?
Yeah, well, I think it's mostly a solo written record. There's a few co-writes on there, and I gave Rachel Lloyd, my producer, some songwriting credit on some songs, even when she said no. But Paula and I wrote a couple, and then Rachel, and then Brian Keane, her husband, and chimed in on a few. But I would say like 90%. Mostly, well, I don't know, 80% solo written. I've been writing religiously through COVID, like making myself write, challenging myself to write one song every week or every 2 weeks, and I've delivered on that promise. So for the last 2 years, so we had tons of songs to choose from, which is wild. We weren't reaching at all. We were just narrowing down.
That's a whole lot of songs, Bri. That's crazy. That's fantastic. So
yeah, they weren't all good. They weren't all good to choose from, of course, but I just had a lot of options.
So now, we've talked about this before, in the modern day of digital music and downloading and whatnot, it's becoming increasingly rarer for, I don't know if that's a word, increasingly rare for artists to release full albums, LPs traditionally. So why the decision to go ahead and make it like this? Is it because you've always done it this way? Or do you really feel like the songs kind of need to be, I guess, encapsulated, in a capsule, in a group together? What's your reasoning behind continuing with the album process?
Yeah, probably because I've never been doing the cool, trendy thing. I'm always stubborn and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad. It's probably a bad thing, but I was telling Rachel Lloyd, I have all these songs, and it's been 4 years since I put out a full-length record, and I had a record deal during COVID that dissolved, and so I feel like I lost all this time, and I just really want to make a record, and I'm going on, and I'm blabbing. And she's like, hey, let's make a record. You don't have to convince me. I still believe in records. I love that you want to do that, and I want to help you do that. So she was kind of like, why are you trying to convince me? It was very funny. And so if I had the songs and we had the ability to do it, we split it up into 2 sessions. We did one session in Nashville, 5 songs, and then came, home, finished all the 5, and then went back and did 6 more, mostly for just to split up the money. And it's just so unbelievably expensive. But I have to think that records still matter, and it matters to me, and I'm just so proud of the record. I hope that that comes through. I mean, the initial feedback has been really great. So hopefully people are just good for her putting out a record instead of that's a dumb decision. We'll find out.
Hey, man, you're not umpteenth time female artist of the year for no reason, all right? It's not by making bad decisions, Bri. So, again, the album's called Corazón y Cabeza. Let's go ahead and talk about the album. Now the title, is that a title track, or is that kind of an overlying theme of the record? What's going on there?
It is a line from a song in the record. It's a line from one of the songs that was Paul, called The Dust. And in my defense was also a line from a song for my last record title. And it is an overarching theme. I think it kind of sets the tone for there is a little bit of Spanish feel on a lot of the songs actually, and you will hear that with Josefina for sure, probably most prominently. But so I think it kind of prepares a listener for that. And also I just love the idea that, the songs, a lot of times you have to wait to be inspired, or they're all just from your heart. And it's man, I really worked so hard on these songs. Even when I didn't feel like writing songs, I made myself. So I feel there was a lot of just brain power and dissecting and just a lot of thinking. So the songs are coming from both places. So I think it was a really fitting title. And then we got this picture in Nashville, this amazing picture where my dress looks like a heart. So that also it just all came together nicely, I think.
Well, now, speaking of pictures, photo shoots, videos, all that stuff, any plans for video, any, multimedia releases tied to the record?
Yeah, I think we're going to do a few. I did 5 acoustic live videos with Paul, with our buddy, AJ Vallejo. He filmed those in Austin. So we just premiered one last week with the country note. All those are linked on my social media. And then we have 4 more. So we'll have another one coming out, I think, on Friday. So you'll be able to see at least the live acoustic videos. And then there are plans to do music videos. It all got kind of pushed a bit, but I think Paul and I, we just feel like we just need to go to Mexico and just shoot a music video there just because we need a vacation so bad. So we're trying to find a way to go on vacation and write it off, you know?
That's awesome. That's the way to do it. See, that's your keen business sense coming through. Again, 8, 9, whatever time, Female Artist of the Year for a reason. Again, we've got Bri Bagwell on the phone. The new album's called Corazón y Cabeza. It's going to be out August 26th. Now, it sounds exciting. We can't wait to hear all the tracks on the new record. Again, we're going to play the new digital release, Josefina, here in a moment. But first of all, let's talk about the big event. You got an album release party coming up really soon with my buddy, Jarrett Ray Reddick, making his country live performance debut. How stoked are you about the show, and give me the details?
Yes, at Green Hall, I'm so excited. I knew you would know him. That's so cool.
We go way back.
Excited.
Yeah, I used to play his music on the Eagle in Dallas before they were signed. It's crazy.
Wow,
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I've heard nothing but really amazing, nice things about him, so I'm super pumped he's on the show. I think it's going to be like a sellout or very close, so if you're planning on coming, I would encourage you to get tickets now. It's at Green Hall, August 27th, this Saturday, and it's just going to be a great time. My whole family's coming in from New Mexico. I just have friends from all over Texas driving in. It's going to be great. Now,
since this is an album release show, are you going to play the full record, or is it going to be selected tracks?
I think we'll probably play about half of the record.
Okay, fair.
Mostly because it comes out the day before, so people won't really know most of the songs, sure. But I'm definitely planning on playing at least half of it, so you'll get a good taste. We're going to do vinyl pre-orders at the merch table. I'm picking up the CDs this week if anyone's still into those kind of things.
Heck yeah, we are.
I am. I have a CD player in my truck, and I love it. But and I think maybe even like some USB drives. We're really trying to get however people like to listen. We're trying to accommodate that.
I love it. Very good. Again, the new album's called Corazón y Cabeza. Brand new album by Bri Bagwell, coming out on August 26th, and then the album release show the following day in New Braunfels. So any other news we need to... Well, obviously, you're going to get merch, all kinds of great new stuff tied to this new product, right? Are you excited about any of that?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I just posted some hats yesterday. We got some new hats, and I just told the designer, can you make it look very New Mexico? And he delivered. I got new shirts, new hats up, and then you can pre-order the vinyls on my website. So all of that is going on. I think that's most of the new news. We're still adding tour dates and maybe going to do an acoustic tour. So be on the lookout for all of those things as well. We're just going to be hitting it hard promoting the new record.
Nice. Maybe we can get you guys down for the acoustic thing down here in Uvalde. That'd be really cool. So, man.
Oh, I would love that.
Exciting stuff. Well, again, Bri, give us the website and all the socials. Is it just BriBagwell.com?
Yes, BRI.BriBagwell.com, and all my socials are at Bri Bagwell. I'm even on TikTok now, so, I'm on all the things.
All right. So, thank you for taking some time with us. One quick question. Go ahead and give us a little bit of insight. I know you had a fantastic guest guitarist in this track, but the new digital release for Josefina. Give us some quick details on this, and I'm going to get it on the radio.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for playing this. I think this is the first time it's going to be played on radio, so that's pretty exciting. Yes, there was a guy named Ramon Stagnaro out of L.A., actually, who played the guitar on this track, and it is, I always say it makes me feel like I'm like Zorro riding a horse at full speed into the sunset. So it's about rescuing a woman from a bad relationship and smuggling her across the border.
Again, Bri, thank you so much for spending some time with us, getting us caught up, and give us a little bit of insight into the new record. We are so excited that you got a whole big, full new record coming out real soon. After 4 years, right? I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's been, I've had Heroes, and I've had Girls Just Want to Have Fun since then, so I've had a couple of tracks, but not a record.
Yeah.
Here it is, so please buy it so I don't feel dumb.
Well, again, BriBagwell.com. Pre-order yourself some vinyl, buy yourself some merch, and if you can make the trip out to see the album release show, be sure and do that. Again, details at BriBagwell.com. Let's check it out. This is Josefina, the new track off Corazón y Cabeza on UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Josefina, the most beautiful barmaid in town. But you never get a shot of tequila without her husband staring you down. He drinks and he waits in the corner for the woman only he can touch. When he fixes his head, it's to warn her she's talking or smiling too much. Pour me amor, Josefina. Slip this in his drink and let's go. Meet me at Rosa's Cantina. We'll leave Texas for Mexico. She belonged to that nasty old gringo who was never suspecting of me.